The great American composer John Corigliano wrote a fantastic score for the 1998 film The Red Violin. If you saw it, you'll remember that it was a sort of twisted mystery drama that traced the story of a famous violin and its various owners over the centuries. Anyhow, Corigliano took some of the fantastic violin passages from the score and transformed them into a virtuosic solo violin suite that our next young violinist is going to tackle. This is 17-year-old violinist Ethan Yang from Diamond Bar, California, performing excerpts from the Red Violin Caprices by John Corigliano. 17-year-old violinist Ethan Yang from Diamond Bar, California, performed excerpts from the Red Violin Caprices by John Quiliano. Ethan, you play those pieces with such passion and fire, and the virtuosity never gets in the way for you. In fact, it only propels you even deeper and deeper into the piece. Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Can we take a moment to go back to your very beginnings in music? Because I find the way that you got started in music really moving. Music first entered your life at a really turbulent time in your childhood, right? What was happening then?
Well, I started the violin when I was 8 years old. And that year, I witnessed my parents go through a divorce. And as a result of that, my mother and I moved from California to Arizona. And also, it was around that time when I discovered that I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. And so it was one of the darkest moments of my life, especially if you consider it from the perspective of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
this one day, I was watching TV. And I came upon this TV show that featured a gospel music group. But something about the violinists just really caught my attention. Like their sound really, it helped me soothe my mind. And it sort of brought me into a state of peace and tranquility and calmness. And so from that time on, I started to believe that music, especially the violin, was a sort of remedy for me, for my emotions, because they help me gradually erase all the dark memories from my mind, from my emotions and all that. And so I told my mom all about this. And so from that time on, I began to take up the violin, and that goal has never changed up to this day.
Wow, that's so wonderful and such a blessing. You mentioned that you have Asperger's syndrome, and I'm wondering if you'd be open to sharing with me what it's like to live with that. Maybe also how it affects your music too.
Yes. So, life with Asperger's. It's actually a little hard for me to, communicate, socialize, and comprehend effectively. Like, when I talk to my colleagues, sometimes they don't understand me and I don't understand them, and it kind of just creates this misunderstanding between both parties. Another difficulty is that even right now, I talk a little slowly. It's about the process. It's about processing information. When I ask normal people questions, like people with normal minds, for whatever reason, they seem to process info really quickly and just able to say it in a split second. But for me, I have to process my info, organize it. For whatever reason, I just have a problem saying it, saying it through the tip of my tongue. But I actually do not think Asperger's or living with it is that dark at all. I see it as a gift because it helps me focus on certain matters, certain things, certain subjects that I really love doing. And it also helps me analyze matters really carefully and be a little more sensitive about my environment, my surroundings. And so a lot of times I notice that in music, I like to focus on minute details in certain phrasings and trying to play around with them, fix them, all that kind of stuff. And so these are just some of the positives and
Right. Well, I have to say, I mean, you are just communicating so beautifully and openly and clearly, and what a wonderful attitude you have too. I mean, just to see the smile on your face as you talk about these experiences, and it makes me incredibly happy to say that you've won one of our Jack Kent Cooke Young Artist Awards. Any sense of what you might do with the grant?
I'm very likely going to spend it all on an instrument, on a violin.
Great. Well, I can't wait to hear it, and I'm sure it's going to sparkle and sing just like your performance did today.
Thank you so much.
Ethan Yang, 17 years old, from Diamond Bar, California.
The young performers on our show are so impressive, sometimes you've just got to see it to believe it. And that's pretty easy to do, actually. Just go to fromthetop.org and check out all the fun video we put out every week. Not only do we have photos and video of our young players making radio with us, we've got our Daily Joy video series, virtual concerts, raucous pop music covers, and more. That's at fromthetop.org.